So how you want to start this?
You know they're different times.
You know they're Diva Dads. They got the cool one. They're Diva Dads. They know just what to say because they're Diva Dads. You can trust them in the middle lane. Oh, they're Diva Dads.
Hi guys, my name is Rodney.
I am Mike Kilgore.
I'm Adrienne Dobson.
And I'm Dana Martin. I know that we're all here to we're here to ask our guests some questions, and there's other things we want to talk about. But I just wanted to take a moment to tell the story about this one. No, that's it. I'm done. That's all I got. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for that, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
It's
Some
it's
context there
good.
I'm missing.
It's good that you're just like you all the time.
Welcome to Diva Dads, episode 45, featuring Mike Kilgore. Just kidding. Featuring Willy Wonka himself, Aaron Wunneberger.
Yeah,
We're the divas. He's the dad.
it's applause. You like that?
Thank you. I'm here all week.
He kind of is here all week. Where are we? New location.
New location. I thought this was going to be a Rodney only episode.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be all by myself, but
Pod.
Adrienne said she wanted to be part. Dana and Mike said, no way, we're busy, we've got lives and things. And so, but of course, as usual, we're supporting the Topo, all three of us. Cheers.
Despite the topo shortage that is infuriating our audiences even more so than our lack of air conditioning.
Agreed. And we are struggling with a lack of air conditioning right now.
Yes.
I know what
So,
you're talking about.
Aaron, do you have any idea what this is?
This is a podcast.
Have you ever seen or heard anything about it?
Yes.
You don't have to lie.
I witnessed approximately 5 minutes of a live podcast
Oh.
Oh, wow. Live.
at my place of work.
I wonder if that was the
Probably.
catastrophic
yeah.
Kelsey Coleman episode. That might have.
I have no clue, but it seemed like a.
Wait, was it
I
inside or
guess.
outside?
It was inside. It was
Okay, so that one actually was good. That was the Harold Presley episode. It was the Kelsey's that was a debacle. And not Kelsey wasn't the debacle. Our outdoor experience was a debacle.
Yeah, the show has a lot of microphone chaos, and we're experiencing a little bit of that because your microphone is still a little weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
If I get really close to it, is that going to help?
I think that's kind of how you're gonna have to talk. It's just basically like swallow the microphone.
Tonight's program.
All right. So, welcome to Diva Dads. What this is we're like well over a year into this, which is kind of wild. But during COVID, I didn't start. These three dads started drinking regularly on Zoom, which is awesome. I decided to join one day, and now we are 45 episodes in, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool, and our audience has grown, and then
To 7.
and then we had
Hey.
we had some attrition, but
One big hand for 7. One big
I'm sorry.
hand.
Dad jokes result in immediate elimination from.
Dads is in the name of the podcast.
Yeah, I know. I have strict rules.
Throw me a bone
does.
here. I wasn't told anything about this.
So you actually were supposed to be on the episode a couple weeks ago.
Yes, I was.
You were, because we were just starting rehearsals. We were in the middle of Willy Wonka rehearsals.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to you that day that caused you to not be able to make an appearance with Alana O'Connell?
Just some regular 4th of July weekend festivities. That typical. Just hanging out with some buds.
Where?
Down by the waterfront.
the water,
Lake Bryan?
the
The old-
beautiful waterfront.
The beautiful lakeside of Lake Bryan.
So typically we start off, let's talk about how you doing, Rodney. How has your week been?
My week has been very busy. So this has been Tech Week of Willy Wonka. So if any of the three of us nod off, you'll know why. Because we just kind of finished Hell Week. And this show, this Willy Wonka, has lots of moving parts. Am I wrong?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not tired at all. I'm ready to go.
Fresh as a daisy.
Yeah.
In fact, my beautiful wife, she says, "Are y'all doing the show tonight?" And then she didn't even let me answer. She was like, "Aren't y'all tired?"
And we all said yes.
Yeah. And then she pulled a Mike Kilgore and she said, "That's crazy."
Oh,
There's a
he's
lot of
still here.
context I'm missing for so many jokes, but they were still funny.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, Mike has a single catchphrase that he uses every 32 seconds. So yeah,
Crazy.
not only were you
That's crazy.
instrumental, obviously, in the set, Rodney, but during Tech Week, you stood in, we thought temporarily, for Veruca Salt's dad, Mr. Salt, but now you're just in.
Yeah, I'm in, at least for the next show. But very well wishes to David Nathan Huddleston, because he's not feeling well. And felt like it was in the best interest of himself and the cast to quarantine for a while, which we appreciate. And I'm glad I was available to do it. I've been learning on the fly. Like I learned, 4 days ago that I was going to be in the show.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So luckily...
Nuts.
Luckily, the part is, while significant, is small, so I didn't have to learn tons of stuff, which is good. Not that I've learned it, but I'm making my way.
Well, it helps that you're partnered with Paige Perrone, like consummate professional.
Exactly.
So you just get to get dragged around stage by her, and you're all set.
Yep. It's funny, even during the last the finale where we're dancing together, and I basically it's dancing. Basically we're connected like puppets or whatever, and you would think that I would be leading. But no, Paige is totally leading.
Actually, I don't think anybody would think you would be leading.
Point. No.
Nope, wrong one.
No.
What are you, new?
No.
Oh my.
There it is.
Diva Burr.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.
Hey man, you're gonna have to get control of the sound.
I'm sorry.
Speaking of a Pearly moment, though, Paul Early worked the box office today. It's good to see him.
Pearly moment.
Love that.
He came riding in on his bicycle, and then he went into the men's room briefly, changed his shirt, came out looking fresh as a daisy. If I rode my bike anywhere, it would take me probably an hour and a half to stop sweating, especially in our current AC predicament.
Yeah.
But no, Paul looks like a star. So.
All right, next segment. We're gonna fast forward through a few things. So we're gonna do a Roger Pine breakdown. Aaron Wunneberger, describe the plot of Willy Wonka Jr.
So
The key word there is plot.
Plot.
So there's a lot of candy going on. There's a lot of chocolate going around. Some would say it's a golden age of chocolate. It's all because of our boy William Wonka.
Is his name William, or was he named Willy?
Hey, I've dug deep into this character. We've gotten to know each other really well, and he told me only his mother calls him this, but his name is in fact William Wonka.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So we're on a first name basis, me and William.
I hope so.
Does he have friends other than his mom?
Oh yeah, totally. Like his dad and his dog.
Willy Wonka has a dog.
Yeah, Wilfred.
Wilfred Wonka.
It's a very Will-centric, naming.
Yeah, you know what his dad's name is?
What is
Wilson.
Wilhelm.
Wilhelm.
Wilson is the neighbor. Sorry.
You know what his mom's name is?
What's his mom's name?
Wilhelmina. Anyway, William. and all this chocolate that he's brought upon the land. You know, it's been good for everybody, but Willy's ready to retire. And so he decides he's gonna throw a couple golden tickets in some. I'm sorry, Mumford and Sons is going back here. And I
Distracted
just
by
like
Mumford and Sons.
I got so distracted.
It's gonna get us pulled down off YouTube.
Wait,
It's
Aaron,
fine.
are you easily distracted?
What?
Wait, why does he decide to retire? Willy Wonka seems very young.
That's a good question.
Where is he going? What is he doing?
Hey man, I think he's just like kind of tired of eating chocolate. Candy gets so as Charlie says, chocolate is very fattening.
Fattening. I love his pronunciation of that word.
Hey,
love
diction
it.
is important.
Because consonants are.
Our friends.
Amen.
I paid attention during notes.
Good job.
It may not look like I'm paying attention, but I paid attention.
Very good.
So he decides to retire.
So yeah, he decides to retire, and obviously this is a shock to the world. But once this contest of 5 golden tickets to get into Willy's factory and, you know, win a lifetime supply of chocolate. I don't really know what the allure of a lifetime supply of chocolate is outside of just having a lot of chocolate to eat. Are you going to like sell it all?
I have that question with anything, any lifetime supply of anything, because that's often like a sweepstakes prize.
Yeah, for sure.
What does that mean? Does that mean I could literally eat it all day long? Is it rationed in any way?
Yeah,
Is
for
it
sure.
is it limitless? I would like to know.
I've always thought about that whenever it's like, you get free gas for a year.
Yep.
Okay, can I like fill up like 6
Times a day.
tanks of gas?
Are you limited by
And-
number of vehicles? I don't
Yeah,
know.
can I just like bring all my friends here and pay for all their gas? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
anyway,
Probably
yeah.
not. There's probably something in that very tiny print.
Right. Oh, and when the script or
yeah, the
whatever
contract.
One
The
gallon
comes
per
out.
day.
One.
Oh,
Yeah.
poor Augustus.
You have to go every day
Poor
to the gas station.
Augustus. All right.
Poor fella.
Plot. You're
Okay.
retiring.
So I'm
Chocolate
retiring.
is very
Chocolate's,
fattening.
Chocolate's very fattening. Okay, so we got the contest going, and out of nowhere, these tickets are getting scooped up. Okay, but they're getting scooped up by some pretty snot nosed kids. I'm not gonna lie, these kids kind of suck. But yeah, so you got. See, the first one goes to Mr. Augustus Gloop.
Yep.
He just eats more. He eats more. He eats more.
Played by John Compton,
The incomparable.
the incomparable John Compton.
Yep.
It's good wordplay right there. If I do say so myself. Just toot my own horn. But yeah, so Augustus gets the first one. Man, that's a romper of a song. I'm not gonna lie. I get down in the backstage. I'm just getting into that like German
Oompa,
yeah,
oompa beat.
Oom-pa-pa, yeah, for sure.
So Augustus wins the first ticket.
Augustus wins the first ticket. The second one goes to Violet Beauregard.
No.
Played by
No.
Zoe Zwerneman.
I mean, the next ticket goes to Veruca.
Does it? Mm-hmm. You're right. It does go to Veruca. The second one goes to Veruca. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
Played by Paige Perrone.
it's so funny hearing her. I can hear her yelling from like all the way back in that hallway.
One of my
it's
favorite
insane.
things that she does is Nina has the boom mic hanging down over her, and she eyes it the whole time. And at the last second, after she says she wants everyone fired, she reaches up and grabs it with like this determination. It's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah, she bosses me around backstage. She stays in
Good.
character the whole time. It's kind of scary.
She's very method.
Oh, absolutely.
So then
Real
we
Daniel
meet
Day-Lewis.
Zoe.
Yep.
Then yes, then we have Violet Beauregard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, they're a great pair.
They're so
They're so
funny.
good together. Oh man,
So
and you're
it's 3.
talking about Violet and her mother.
Violet and her mother.
Addie
Addie
Dirksen.
Dirksen.
Uh huh.
And Zoe's Zwerneman. Is that how you say her last name?
I think so. Zwerneman.
Yeah, Zwerneman.
Yeah, they're a great pair. And then we got Mike TV,
Mike TV.
McTeewee, as his script said.
McTeewee. Oops, I was tired that day.
Hey man, that's a good nickname. I like McTeewee. Nobody will know what it means except me and him.
It's kind of like McLovin. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
exactly what it is.
That's
That's
what his
exactly what it is.
fake ID will say.
McTeewee.
McTeewee.
It's the somehow even less believable version of McLovin.
So Mike TV is played by.
Mike TV is played by who? Rod.
Caden Bettis. Yeah. My progeny, my
I
offspring.
thought you were going to say your poor son.
He is my poor son. Poor kid.
Oh my
He has
gosh!
such a hard life.
In his star turn as Mick Tiwi.
McTeewee.
Oh man, yeah, he's got some great lines.
He's hilarious.
Shut your pie hole, Toots.
He got an audible like gasp whenever he said that today in the matinee. Like they were like,
I heard that.
My favorite thing was during rehearsals. Later on, he tells you to hold your pantyhose, but he was still reading from the script a couple weeks ago,
Oh,
and we were
man.
blocking. And he goes, "Hold your pantyhose."
Panty house. I was like,
And
what is a panty
he hit
house?
that T. We're like, "Who's got a pantyhose?" Mick
That reminds me of
Tiwi.
my favorite SpongeBob. One of my favorite SpongeBob episodes. It's whenever Patrick and SpongeBob take Mr. Krabs out to have a lot of fun, and then he like hates it because they do a bunch of dorky stuff because it's SpongeBob and Patrick. But then at the very end, they're like, "Well, I guess you can't handle the panty raid." And then they go and steal Mr. Krabs' mom's underwear.
Oh my god!
Hey man, the early 2000s were a crazy time for animated shows especially. But yeah, the panty raid always rattles around in my brain. The panty raid.
This
Oh my
is-
god!
This is this is the longest Roger Pine breakdown ever. Who's
yeah.
the last person to win this?
The last person to win the ticket is, of course, our hero, our champion, Mr. Charlie Bucket.
Chuck Bucket.
Chuck Bucket.
That's one of my favorite lines.
It's a great line.
Yeah,
Played
it's a great
by.
line.
Played by, of course,
Parker
Parker
Greer.
Greer.
He
Yes.
is one of the day one faithfuls of this particular
Yes.
program.
He is one of our 7 listeners.
Yep.
Hey,
And
shout out.
His family makes up the other half of our
That one goes up
listenership.
to you.
Yeah, but they're all on one computer, so they just count as one.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like that way
Boom.
of counting. It's very Nielsen ratings.
So they
can
all win
stretch those
tickets. Then
They all
what
win
happens?
tickets, and then of course they get to come to Mr. Williams' factory, and then chaos ensues.
And in the end,
Yeah, Charlie. You know he does the right thing. He told the truth. You know he broke the rules, but you know he didn't turn around and just like muddle away. He stepped up to the plate and he said, "You know what? I did it."
you know,
And
the
then-
other kids didn't hide that they did it either.
Yeah, but they had no remorse until they got.
But Charlie kind of got too. He just happened to burp to save himself.
That's true. That's true.
You just got away with it.
He just got away with
That's
it.
true. He was also smart. You know.
Was
That
he?
is mentioned. He was smart enough to get out.
I don't know.
I think he's lucky.
I
Hey.
think he's lucky.
Hey.
He also saw which way you all left the room, and then all of a sudden, oh no, where do I go?
That's true. That's true. I'm not gonna lie. It's always bothered me that kid arguably causes the most damage to that factory and gets the whole thing. But maybe that's the punishment. He has to deal with it all.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Wonka's retiring, because
That's
it's
why.
just like, what is the Tom Money Pit?
Yeah, he wasn't gonna retire until that happened, and he's like, you know what, I can't handle this. This is your problem now.
Yeah.
Plus, I think the Oompa Loompas are a little feral. Especially our Oompa Loompas.
They- They're starting to blossom into their individual personalities.
Starting to look like Wang Doodles.
Starting to look like Wang Doodles. They're starting
Oh,
to
man.
act like Wang Doodles.
Oh man, those wigs.
They're all brilliant, though.
Yeah, no, they're pretty incredible, that group of people.
They're cute. Yeah, they're the best.
So thank you for that breakdown of the plot. I don't know what we
Absolutely.
learned.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't know what I was supposed to do, but I did it.
I think it's perfect. Okay, so we have another segment. You know Miss Anna Catherine Mitchell, Katie Mitchell. So we have a segment called When Kate Cries, where she comes on and talks about a musical experience that has made her cry. So our question to you is, When was the last time you cried at a musical?
When was the last time I cried at a musical? Ooh. I know the answer.
James and the Giant Peach.
No. Ooh, actually, it might have been a Tuck. Actually, I think it was the first time I went to go see it. I was up in the. I think I was up in the booth.
Yeah, I think you were
I think I was
recording it
running-
for me.
Yeah, I think I was recording. This is gonna sound so
No,
stupid.
we paid
and
the
corny.
licensing fee. It's fine.
Okay.
This is gonna sound-
we never do that. So
This is gonna
weird.
sound
We
so
apparently
corny,
do all the
but,
time. Sorry, continue.
It was like the first, like literally the first song, and group number. You know, whole company comes out, and there comes Alana. I'm like, oh, there she is.
Aw. I didn't know it was going to be so personal.
Yeah, I know. I think before that it was. Oh man, that was a ways back. But in high school, we did Sound of Music, and for whatever reason, I think it was because my dad always sang it to me when I was a little kid. But every time my best friend who was playing the captain sang Edelweiss, I was just like, here's a little tear.
That's a beautiful song.
It is, and my best friend has a very good voice, and so, you know.
That was
That's-
I saw
that's
that
right combo.
production because little Hannah Prince played the youngest
Oh.
Von Trapp child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those kids were wang doodles too. that was a crazy time. That made me not want to do theater ever again.
Oh my god. Okay, so you did theater in high school, but this is your first show at the theater company.
Yes, it is.
What the hell took you so long?
I like playing guitar a lot.
Okay, so I guess you can tell us a little bit about what you do outside of theater.
Yeah, so outside of the theater, I'm a guitar teacher at School of Rock in College Station, and then I also work in the kitchen at the Village Cafe. You know, downtown favorite, all that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You know, you order it up, I serve it up. That's what I say. That's my saying. That's my motto. I'm sticking to it.
Wait, one more time.
You you order it up, I serve it up.
Do
Come
we
on.
need to make t-shirts?
Yes. That's gonna be our next Village t-shirt.
KP, take note.
Yeah.
Take note.
Just kidding, she doesn't listen to this.
Absolutely not. She's been a guest on the show, though.
Hey.
And a guest host once.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
That's a thing.
That would be an interesting little practice to go through is see how many like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon we can do with the Village. Like how many?
Oh gosh.
It would be.
I mean, hey.
It'd be quite a few.
Yeah. Well, and it's always been constant, obviously, the connection with Christy, but Christy credits Carrie for being one of the connectors of just kind of bringing both the theater group and the Village people together.
Yeah, it's very funny standing in the kitchen and looking at the back of the sign, you know, the one that hangs over the counter, because there's a whole lot of names written on there and everything, you know, just a bunch of people that work there. And there's a whole lot of people that I'm like, oh, hey, I know them from just, I bought them a beer one time, or now we're like really best friends or something like that. It's crazy.
Hi,
I love little downtown things like that.
So what are some of the? You said you did theater in high school. What are some of the productions you were in, and what were some of the roles you got to play?
Oh no! I knew this question was coming.
Okay, we'll save the best one for
Yeah,
last.
obviously. I'm gonna go chronologically. I think that might have been the last role I did. But so my freshman year, we did The Wizard of Oz,
which I choreographed.
at Bryan High School.
Okay.
That was actually really fun. I really liked that one. I was just in the stage crew. You know, I had a lot of fun doing that. I had to crawl underneath the house that we built. That was a dang cool set piece. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. It was a house that spun around, had a big weight on the bottom of it. But I had to crawl underneath it because there were some, the witch's legs. The Wicked Witch of the East, I think. Her legs,
Yes.
they got caught and like came off of the board that they used to like pull them out. So I had to like shimmy under there and kind of grab them. After that, my junior year, we did Sound of Music. That was a terrible experience. I went from being on the stage crew to being a what's the word? Chorus member in like one scene. To being a
Nazi?
full chorus member to yes, being a Nazi officer at the end of the production. That was a fun time. Mind you, I just wanted to stand on this side and move stuff when I had to, and tell people to get on stage when they had to. And then after that,
What was after that, Aaron?
well, after that was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown at my church.
Okay.
That was actually a really fun production. I'm a Schroeder. I'm definitely a Schroeder in real life. Hit me up if you want bad music taste. And then
Schroeder likes classical music.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Beethoven.
Beethoven Day. Anyway, the final, the coup de grace, the pièce de résistance, the piece of resistance. I was in Bryan High School's production of In the Heights.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, as you have noticed, I am not in any way of Latin origin. And hey, man,
So, which role did you play, Aaron?
I was the Piragua guy. It was a very minimal role.
But iconic, nonetheless.
Iconic nonetheless.
Would you be so
played by
kind?
Lin-Manuel Miranda in the film.
I know. I
mind
would
you.
love to hear you sing a little bit of the song.
Got him all verklempt.
I think that's my body's way of saying no. I
Hi,
honestly actually can't remember how it goes right now.
Piragua?
Piragua.
Piragua?
Piragua.
You have to go back to your high school voice.
225 Piragua. Piragua. Piragua.
All right, that's enough. We don't want to get sued by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like
We
a
don't want to
accordion.
get canceled for cultural
Keep
appropriation.
Oh man, I don't know if anybody heard, but I definitely changed key at the end of a song tonight,
Yeah, did hear that.
and I was not happy.
You committed to it, though.
I sure did. I sure committed to that, and I was mad at myself that I committed to it because it didn't sound good.
I think, I do think that Cynthia watches every once in a while, so you probably should have kept that secret.
She wasn't there this weekend. She was racing.
She was racing. She's
racing.
running.
She was racing. She went on a run
running.
today.
That's
It's like Little Orphan Annie racing back to her dinner. Rod, what other questions do we have for the Piragua guy?
So what has been?
Please don't call me that.
What has been surprising about doing a production at the theater company?
Surprising. I didn't realize how involved everybody was in like building everything. I kind of thought it was very compartmentalized. You know, I thought you had your like building thing because that's how it always was whenever any production that I've ever done. You know, you have your people that build stuff and that are probably like stage crew too, and then you have your costumers, and then which are all moms.
Mom crew.
Yeah, shout out to those moms. And then you have your cast and whatever. But yeah, no, that's great. I like that everybody, they chip in to build it, and so you kind of you're more mindful of everything. You know, like if one of those trees falls down, everybody's like, those,
Samantha.
the trees. Yeah, they have names. That's insane. I don't know any of the names, but
Samantha,
Gary Sinise.
Bob,
isn't one of them? Yeah, isn't one of them like Fred or something?
Billy, and Gary Sinise.
Oh, Gary Sinise, that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that guy.
Yeah, Kate and I had a great time that afternoon.
Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs.
That tradition of like naming set pieces started with Big River, because we had these like huge pier pieces, and all three of them are very uniquely shaped, and they would be rearranged into different positions, and so we named them, and it was like, I don't know, a simple name, Pier 2, and then like Jamiroquai Trundlebed,
Nice.
because it went like
Shout
under
out to
the other
Jamiroquai.
one. I
Wherever
don't
you are.
remember. Yeah.
So what's the name of my sleigh bed?
The set piece I'm reusing, an elf.
There you go. It'll be all like, I don't know. I can, for some reason, I can't get like White Christmas out of my head with the sleigh. So we're gonna make.
We already
it,
talked about In the Whites.
Gonna make
we
it
already talked about In the Whites. We can't talk about White Christmas too. That's too much.
in the whites.
Too much.
I mean, White Christmas is all white people.
Exactly.
Doesn't have to be.
That's true.
Everybody, when they can see the grandparents pop out of the sleigh bed to roll it off, they get the giggles. It gets me every time. And I feel bad because I can see, I don't know if she can hear me right now, but I feel like Alana's foot has been run over multiple times when this has happened. And I can see it, her kind of like hop. And I'm like, oh no, they ran over her foot.
Happens to me too.
It probably hits her like Achilles tendon because she has to be on that side, and so
Yeah.
it probably
Oh,
hits
man.
the back of her foot.
When we first started using that train, I was wearing these shoes, these hiking shoes, and they have like a little lip on the back of rubber for whatever reason, and it would catch on the back of that train so much. I was just like lifting it up. That was the worst. But yeah, those grandparents are
Yeah,
maybe my
shout
favorite
out
characters.
Ronnie McQueen and his like harem of women that he rotates through.
Yeah,
Oh my word!
he's got a different wife every night.
I know. What a life.
He's got chemistry with all of them too. It's great.
He's a perfect example of like there's no small parts, there's only small actors, and he took that part and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make every second count,
For sure.
every second." Random thought. Okay, so if any of our 7 listeners participated in James and the Giant Peach, our little ladybug got engaged today.
What?
Yeah, Claire's engaged. Oh my God, that's where Caden gets it.
Congratulations, Claire. Sorry, it's been a long week.
Hit one of those buttons. That's a
It's
bad
like,
one.
you know, like
Hurley
Oh my God.
That's not it.
it's this
I
one.
said one of the bad
Diva
ones.
Burr.
There we go, Diva Burn. There we go.
Come on, dude.
We need to just have a moron button. It needs to be the
Idiot.
big one, like the big button.
If you really need like if you need a big bad one, I'll volunteer my voice.
Okay, all right.
You have a good
Love it.
radio voice. So wait, hold on. You don't know Mike Kilgore?
I don't know.
Oh.
I love that for me.
I love
Hey man.
that too.
Hey, I meet a lot of people.
Do you know Dana Martin?
I do know Dana.
Okay.
I meet a lot of people, and they always tell me their name, and I always forget because I don't call anybody by their name. I just say, "Hey."
What's my name? Legitimate question.
No, I know your name.
Pause.
You're the director.
Director.
What? What? You think I don't know? You think
No,
I don't
I'm
actually know your
I'm
name?
messing with you.
What's her name?
Insert voiceover of Aaron saying my name here.
Is it Adam?
Oh my goodness.
What other questions do you have, Rodney, for Aaron? We should do a segment of Dana questions. So, like, what inspires you to keep going in your theatrical journey?
Well,
That's great. I just needed to know.
okay.
Who is your muse?
My muse is actually a combination of 3 people.
Okay.
It is Dick Van Dyke,
Oh.
Gene Wilder, actually.
And the mamas and the papas.
Not quite. That's more than one person. That would push it over 3. But yes, so it's. What was the first one I said? Dick Van Dyke, Gene Wilder, and then Jack Black. Specifically, Jack Black in School of Rock. Somebody, when I first started working at the school, somebody was like, "Have you ever seen that movie?" I think it was my boss. They were like, "Have you ever seen that movie?" And I was like, "How I ever?" Yes. I was like, I literally act like Jack Black specifically because of that movie. Like that formed me as a child.
As a child. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I remember when that movie
Okay, look,
came
that
out.
movie was came out in 2003. Okay, that's okay. That's an okay amount of time to say that I was a child then.
But that
That was 17 years ago, right?
Sure.
that was probably why your boss asked that, is because as he hires is your boss a he?
One of them is.
I don't want to assume.
I have so many bosses. So many. I don't know why.
That's fair.
I don't understand it, but hey,
Listen,
they're cool.
same.
They're cool.
Wait,
But
Dana just revisited. Do you have any artistic questions for our
That's a happy
guest?
sound right there.
you know,
Yeah.
Dana questions.
Oh, Dana's
Dana questions
No, I'm on the spot.
is on the spot.
That's
Okay,
okay.
think on it. We'll come back to you. You can just rudely interrupt and take over in just a second. Sorry, did I say that out loud? He doesn't listen to the episodes. He's not in either, so it's fine. What was I?
we
But
got-
as you get, as each year that this person who runs School of Rock, as it goes, the less likely as they hire people, bring people in, that they know where the name came from, right? It's less likely. Like, I bet a whole bunch of the kids haven't seen that movie that attend there.
See, I thought
No, now they
that.
know the musical.
Oof, I disagree. I don't think anybody knows the musical.
It's pretty good.
I don't know anybody at that school that has ever mentioned that was a musical. I think the only time I've ever heard any of the songs from the musical, this is not a slight towards the musical, I've never like really listened to it, but the only time I've ever heard any of the music from it was at our showcases. We like play a soundtrack of just like songs that we play, and then one of them is the last song, you know,
Yeah.
if you want to be a teacher, whatever.
It's a good song.
It is a good
It is
song.
a great song.
You know the trippy thing about the musical School of Rock? It was written by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Hey, the goat. The goat.
Yeah, that's kind of
Can't
interesting.
nobody do it better.
But I have kind of an issue. They turn a lot of these movies that have a strong musical undercurrent, right? Like music is like shapes the movie, like School of Rock. But whenever they decide to make a musical out of it, they don't want to pony up for the rights to
Or
the
they're
actual song.
they're told no.
That is
Or they're told no, and so I'm like, well, just don't do the musical.
That
Yeah.
so Wedding Singer is the latter. They just didn't pony up the money
Pony
pony
up
up
the
the money for the 80s songs that were in that movie. But I believe we now interrupt this segment for a Dana Martin question.
Aaron, I believe you saw Little Shop of Horrors at TTC, yes? Was there a performance or a performer that really moved you?
yeah, it was Carrie as one of those three people
Listen,
that sing.
same. Yeah.
Hey,
One of the Ronettes.
The Ronettes. Thank you so much. I'm not gonna lie. I actually can't remember who played anybody else. Was he Mushnick?
Yes.
Dana? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That makes sense.
And Rodney was.
Oh, you were Orange Scrivello.
Ah, there you go. Even knew the
DDS.
name.
Yes.
You
I was
knew the
getting
name.
there.
Sorry.
That's one of my favorite. Excuse me. It's bouncing around the room. I was actually so jealous and mad that I didn't audition for Little Shop of Horrors because I wanted to be Orange Scrivello so bad. Steve Martin is also one of my comedic heroes, and Robin Williams, of course.
Yeah.
You know, they all make sense. They all kind of track together.
Yeah.
Monty Python, all that kind of stuff.
But it's cute that you think you could have beat me out for it.
Diva point.
No, I was mad that I didn't audition. I didn't say I was mad that I could have done because I could have done better.
I just have to pee. I'll be back.
I don't have the stature. I don't have
that-
like the. I can't command the stage in that way.
Come on, you're doing great.
I'm more of a look. I'm more of a Seymour, to be honest. Look at me.
You're a very tall Seymour.
Okay, look. Okay. Small men come in all shapes and sizes.
By the way, if you're following along at home on the Diva Dad's bingo, it's time to drink because Adrienne just had to go to the bathroom. That's usually reserved for dads that have to get up and go to the bathroom, but Adrienne was the first to fall tonight.
You telling me you have to go to the bathroom after one drink?
I don't even think she's all the way through it. If you look at
That is a pretty big topo. I'm
you
not
look at
gonna
the
lie.
condensation on the side, and it looks like she's maybe drank a third of it.
Oh, hey man, I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge.
It's all right.
It's not my place.
Yep.
Sometimes one of my favorite things about podcasts is just hearing people like it's when it's very obvious that they're digging the sound of their own voice, and so they're just like kind of messing with the mic, and they do this kind of thing. I love hearing that kind of exchange in somebody's brain. It's so great.
What's your favorite accent to listen to in a podcast?
Australian accents are the best.
Okay, so it was just asked from the Peanut Gallery, and this happens to be from Dana Martin. Said, what is your favorite accent of podcast to listen to? And your answer was?
It's absolutely Australian. It's
Do you know who does a bang up Australian accent?
Who does a bang up Australian accent? Me?
you. Salt's the name, nuts are the game.
Yeah, I do a great Australian
Right.
accent whenever I'm trying to do a British.
Gonna go down to the bottle, get me a bloody case of VB.
Nuts.
Then off to the footy
nuts,
game.
Nuts. Peanuts. Actually, it's whenever I start listening.
No, that was not.
When I start listing nuts is whenever I go totally Australian.
Nuts. Yeah,
Brazil nuts.
Dude.
Mate, eh?
dude.
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
Okay, first of all, they're called prawns. Get it right.
Yeah.
And now tell me.
Get some Vegemite. My Vegemite
Very
sandwich.
good, very
Y'all actually
good.
tasted Vegemite?
No, I heard
It's
it's.
disgusting.
Isn't it
Hey,
like
man.
super salty? Was that the deal?
It tastes like salty dirt, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Hi, Olive.
I've never tried Vegemite, but one of my favorite bands has a song called Vegemite, and it talks about how much he loves Vegemite and eating it with toast and like avocado and tomatoes. So literally one of the lines is, "We'll have toast with avocados and tomatoes and Vegemite."
And Vegemite.
So
I was like, you left something out.
yeah. So I told Lana we're gonna have that for breakfast when we get old. It's gonna be our old people breakfast.
When you are living out in the bush.
Yeah, when we live out in the bush, we don't have any taste buds left.
We lost all of our Australian listeners.
Speaking of the bush, if you're looking for a good movie to watch with good accents, this is not Australian. It's actually Kiwi. But Hunt for the Wilder People is a great film. It's a Taika Waititi film. It's got Sam Neill in it.
I love both of them.
Of Jurassic Park fame. Also one of my favorite movies of all time. It's just a great comedy, all that kind of thing.
What the heck is happening?
Alana's hanging stuff in her room.
Dana, what are you doing out there?
Dana.
Dana!
I thought you were going to say Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Hey,
That's my favorite.
isn't that a musical?
It is.
Okay.
And I think it's better than Kinky Boots.
Hey, I've
Fight
never
me.
seen Kinky Boots, so
I haven't.
can't.
I've seen Kika Boots, but I have not seen Priscilla,
I have
Queen of the
seen-
Desert.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert is an incredible movie with Guy Pearce in it and some other incredible
love Guy
actors.
Pearce.
He's
Guy Pearce
so
is great.
good. And then they did the musical version, and it's spectacular.
Okay.
Guy Pearce played a villain in the Marvel movies, right? He was.
He was.
He was the
Aldrich
bad guy
Killian.
with
Yeah.
I am the Mandarin. He was actually probably
Oh, that's
one of
right.
the worst villains in the entire series.
I mean, but you know,
He was really good. Actually, no, I lied. Sorry, he was really good up until the very end. He's
I
like,
feel
I'm
like
the Mandarin.
we
and
should
here's all these
not
weird
derail
tattoos.
into Marvel talk. That is a separate podcast.
No. That shouldn't happen. I can. I feel like I should tell you all the professionally done musicals I've seen because it's not very many.
Dude, yes.
So I've seen 2 productions of Newsies. I saw the original cast in New York
okay.
when I was in high school.
Hi, girl.
And then I saw another cast, traveling cast in Austin. I saw The Lion King in Austin. That was great. I love The Lion King. Those costumes are insane.
They are.
We saw Mary Poppins at Theater Under the Stars.
I saw it there too.
We saw it, I think, around the time we did it at my church. Oh, that was the one that I forgot to mention that I was in. I was Bert. It was Dream Roll.
Nice. Yeah, we're getting some
can hear her.
ASMR purring going on.
Hey, this is my friend.
This is another time to drink if you're on Diva Dad's Bingo.
Hey, I'll take that opportunity.
Did y'all see the video circulating? My mom sent it to me. The West End cast of Lion King reunited and sang Circle of Life in the same room together for the first time.
That sounds intense.
Tears.
That sounds intense.
Yeah.
So other ones that I've seen, Wicked. I've seen Wicked twice.
Wow.
I saw it in New York, and then I saw it in Austin as well.
You were talking about the Wizard of Oz and working whenever the house falls on the Wicked Witch of the East. Is the Wicked Witch of the East in Wicked?
She's a character. I can't remember. I haven't seen it in
Nessa.
so long. Nessa, that's right. I was about to say I'm pretty sure she's a very very
Nessa.
important character.
Yes.
Nessa. Oh man.
Have you seen Wicked?
Mm-mm.
Okay, have you read the book Wicked?
The musical.
Don't read the book.
Great.
It's a weird case of the book has amazing ideas, but then it just
breathing into the
loses
microphone.
all control. But the musical takes like the best concepts of the book and actually streamlines it and makes it really cool. So like all the like hidden characters and the things that they connect from Wizard of Oz is pretty brilliant.
Yeah, it's one of those awesome things where it's like, here's the origin.
Yeah.
Here's like the gritty origin of all these characters.
Yeah.
But it's like good.
Okay. Well,
And they also tried to do it with what was that one called? The Oz the Great and Powerful with
Yeah, that was terrible.
what's
I
his
wanted that to
name?
be with James Franco.
James Franco.
I wanted that to be so much better than it was.
Oh, it was so bad. Man.
Not good. Not good.
Not a good time.
So that's one of those movies that I remember watching and leaving and going, that was fine, but
Oz?
completely forgetting
Yeah,
that I've even watched it.
I think I saw a poster for it one time and I was like, I don't remember that coming out. And then
I think I rewatched
I've
it during quarantine. I'm pretty sure I rewatched it during quarantine. But yeah,
I tried to
still
watch.
not great.
I tried to watch Return to Oz in quarantine.
Oh, that's
That's a-
trippy.
That's a trippy show.
Hi.
I'm not gonna lie, it was late at night, and I was
We're scared. Is it
tired.
scary?
I was tired. I'm not gonna lie, so I kind of fell asleep when it started getting
Do you
weird.
have weird dreams about all those creepy metal creatures?
Yes, but that's kind of how my dreams are all the time.
Oh, okay, got it.
I have heavy metal dreams.
So that's
So
good
those
to
are
know.
the professional shows that you've seen. If you could plan a season for the theater, what shows would we do?
Let's see. I've always wanted to do. I've strangely always wanted to do Oklahoma. I hate the state of
How
Oklahoma.
did I know you were going to say that?
I love.
I was going to say
Cowboys.
it ironically, and I
love
was like, no, but he
Cowboys.
probably would want to do Oklahoma.
Cowboys
I-
are so fun.
I watched that the movie not too like a couple weeks ago because it was just like I think it's on something Disney Plus, something of that nature.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I was like, I hate so many characters in this movie.
I don't
Okay.
care about
like
the
they're
characterizations.
terrible.
Yeah. So
I haven't
Terrible
watched
people.
it in
They're
ages.
terrible people.
The lead guy,
He's
the one
awful.
he's terrible.
I know,
I
but
just-
that's the beauty of it.
He tries to convince the farmhand to kill himself.
Okay,
like
look.
he sings
Okay,
a song
Dana,
about
he's trying to
killing,
speak.
Look,
killing himself.
No, I know it's
look.
bad.
It's insane.
Okay, I just want to hear somebody sing "Oh What a Beautiful Morning." That's honestly all I want.
So
I love that song. That was a very pivotal moment as a child. Brian Hyde at Oklahoma, and I fell in love with. I called him the singing cowboy, and I think he went to our church or something like that. But my mom, would like tell me to go talk to him, be like, tell him that he did good and all that kind of thing. And so that was like a nexus point in my life where I decided that I thought theater was cool. I was probably I don't know 4 or 5 years old.
Then it served its purpose. But like still,
Yeah.
if you
Still.
watch that with an eye of like,
Oh yeah, I
a lot
haven't watched it
of
since I
older
was probably in high
musicals are
school.
like that. But you know who I was talking with about Oklahoma today was Mandy, because we were talking about a lot of the shows that we've done at the theater and how specifically Seven Brides for Seven Brothers is like extreme ick.
yeah.
Like that one would be hard to revisit. But there are a lot of shows, Oklahoma being one of them, that you
Goodness.
that you could revisit. So the revival of Oklahoma was a very stripped down version. The soundtrack is really cool, and it's all about like it doesn't pretend like it's a shiny, happy, glossy musical about happy cowboys, because it's not. So they very much make you aware that that Curly's a bad guy,
Yeah.
and they do it in this brilliant way. Like in the end, the couple's literally covered in blood. At the
Wow.
end, yeah.
It's like Carrie.
That sounds awesome.
It was one. I could not believe I was paying to see Oklahoma, but it was pretty mind blowing, and it made me want to do the show.
So is that I know that the rights are different, and you can have the rights to the original musical, but maybe not the revival or
So
whatever.
they didn't change anything. It was literally a matter of direction and leaning into the ugly stuff as opposed to just where
Yeah,
the
it's
wind
all
comes
stage
sweeping
direction.
down the plain.
That's art, baby.
There was one scene, in
Yeah.
fact, the scene that leads up to him trying to convince Judd to off himself, where they actually took out all the lights, and so all you did was hear these two men have a conversation. It was also very homoerotic, but then one of them picked up
Let's
like a
go.
cell phone cam, and the cell phone cam was being projected on the back wall, so you could see like a not black light, but like a night vision of these two men talking like really, really close. And so by stripping the lights of it and all of the like, performance of it, you're just listening to what he's saying, and you're right, like it's really bad.
Yeah, but then Judd is very rapey.
Yeah, and
Yes,
they don't
babe.
shy away from that either.
Good.
It's really bad.
And then the traveling salesman, he's also a cad. Like,
Yep.
he's awful.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So
Maybe
yes.
I'll revise my.
There's a whole bunch, and the girl character too. She's just as shallow as she can be.
I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, the way they kind of frame her character makes her actions make a lot more sense rather than her just being a little flippy floppy.
And what's the actress's name that played? She was also in the Partridge Family, right? That played it in the movie.
Oh yeah, Shirley Jones.
Shirley Jones. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I noticed about those older musicals is that they definitely did a whole lot of that operatic singing that is almost impossible to be able to
dude.
track the lyrics.
Dude. Ugh.
So is that something that they changed in
Oh
the,
yeah.
the
If you
revival?
listen to the soundtrack, it would be unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Unrecognizable. One of the coolest things that they did, because Oklahoma is one of the shows, like these old-fashioned Rodgers and Hammerstein shows, where they stop it and have a ballet.
Oh yeah,
The
I remember
whole
that,
dream
yeah.
sequence, and a lot of
No.
shows do that. But
And
the
they-
way
It's
they-
always a dream
And they
sequence.
they replaced all of the principals with actual dancers.
right. But in the revival, they stripped it. The music is all there, like it's all the same, but it's just her in this like Alvin Ailey dance type thing. It's like a solo, and then she eventually incorporates other people, but it's literally a dream sequence. So she comes out in like a nightie, like a onesie that says, I think it just says Dreamer in like sequins. And she does this beautiful dance that you are invested in as opposed to, a bunch of prairie skirts high kicking.
That kind of reminds me of the
Hello.
pink elephants in Dumbo.
Yeah, that was very trippy.
Crazy.
Oh my God.
That movie is like under 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And it feels like 2 hours. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that happens.
Pinocchio is
Annie,
kind of the same way.
can you
Pinocchio is
not?
the same way. Oh my god.
Dana would not
Annie,
be
stop
happy
it.
right now if he was here.
Okay, so after Oklahoma, my number one all time.
We're gonna not crush all of your options.
My number one all time is
might.
Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot.
I
That
would
was
love to
good.
do that.
Because-
Like we've talked about that show a lot on this show.
Wait, that just came up as a memory. Hold on.
And I know it's been a while because the Grail is in a very prominent spot in the red.
I look at it all the time, and I'm just like, man,
2013. It was 8 years ago.
So 8 years ago, it's time
hey,
to make a comeback.
It's time.
No, at least 10.
No,
No.
that's nonsense. We
That
do
is
Rocky.
not
we-
nonsense.
We, do Rocky as
That's
almost every year.
different.
Hey,
No.
That's different.
How
Why
long
not?
ago?
why not?
There's one of them. You know her.
Yeah, I know her. Wait, who is that?
Rachel Mitchell.
This is
Oh, yeah, I know her.
this is terrible video or audio.
Look at that
of y'all looking at
2013, like,
2012. Yeah.
oh man, 2013.
This lovely
fashion
lady,
is the
Catherine
best.
Pope, performed at Third Floor Cantina the other night and was fantastic.
Oh, was that the show you went to see?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you were supposed to be doing our show.
I was not supposed to be doing
Got 'em.
anything except
Diva
enjoying a
burn.
few hours off. There's Kate Mitchell.
Point. God,
Dude, come on.
there it is. I swear.
Are the buttons changing?
No, I just
You're
forget
just
about them.
Diva burn.
See,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
I'm racking
Okay.
those up. Thank you. Thank you.
Oklahoma.
Okay,
Oklahoma.
Monty Python's
Monty
Python's
Family.
I absolutely cannot get enough of Python. Like that's what I watched when I was a kid. My parents literally had to hide Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the DVD, from me as a kid because they were like, you can't keep quoting this movie at school.
It's weird that you had DVDs as a kid. To me,
Okay, yeah, it was a big deal when we got that DVD. I'm not gonna lie. Like, my dad, like, I remember there are like maybe 3 things that I remember my dad showing me where it, like, immediately was burned into my brain. The first one, I think, was Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. So we
Wow.
got him a CD for his birthday, and it was the 30th anniversary. I remember because it was 2003. It came out in 1973. Anyway, and he was like, here, sit down. We're going to listen to this. And we listened to it, and I was like, that was kind of boring. But, you know, I was however old I was in 2003. And then the second thing was we watched Monty Python, and I was like, this is friggin' hilarious. This is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Coconuts? He's banging coconuts together? Are you kidding me?
we almost put the coconuts in Willy Wonka.
I
Yeah,
saw
they're
them.
still sitting
They're sitting back
backstage.
there, and I think about banging them together all the time. And then I think the third one was like Northern Exposure or something like that.
Oh my gosh!
But I don't think I ever really gotten into that. The other two, though,
I never watched it.
Never watched. It's
Yeah.
the origin of
it's
Aiden.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty funny.
So now you've got 3 shows.
I've got 3 left. Okay. I'm not going to say South Pacific.
You're breaking Adrienne's
No,
heart.
I know.
No,
I know.
I struggle with South Pacific because Some Enchanted Evening might be
could-
one of my favorite musical theater songs of all time. But
Okay.
the racism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, obviously.
And there
Obviously.
ain't. I mean, I know it's misogynistic, but there ain't nothing like a dame as a great.
I was
song.
going to say
It's a great song.
the rompousness, just
Yeah.
the freaking pomposity
Of the CBs.
of that song is so great. Just the da, 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 da. I mean, the words, you can toss those words out and
But see,
replace
that's
them. But
like that is not nearly as bad as the entire plot of this man's
Oh, yeah.
children.
Yeah.
When we did it, I played Nellie, who's supposed to be the like white blonde Midwestern, and the 2 kids that played the kids were whiter than I ever could be, and were straight up in yellow face. It was not okay.
not good. Not
No.
good. Yeah. Oh, man. When we did In the Heights, okay.
So at this moment, we lost our video feed. It happens. So the rest of the podcast is audio only. So this is kind of for all of you video watchers, this is kind of a sneak peek as to what it would be like just to listen to a podcast. We appreciate you hanging out with us as we wrap this up. And yeah, thanks for watching Diva Dads.
I still have the shoes. I still have the shoes that I wore. Like, it stopped. It just stopped.
Damn.
Diva burn.
Well, we're still going audio, so we'll just finish this as an audio podcast.
This can be a part
That's
2,
fine.
and maybe we do it at the theater, maybe after pickup rehearsal, and we add Parker.
It probably ran out because it's out of like memory.
Yeah.
But we can do an audio like wrap up.
Okay.
And something to think about is when we do continue this next week, I'm going to need pictures of In the Whites.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no.
I will find them if you don't.
Oh, yeah. No, so those shoes, they were like some slip-on shoes. And they're like brown on the inside. And it was because they put it on my legs. I was like, don't put it on my legs, please. Like, my legs are tan. You know, I wear shorts in the summer. It's hot. You know, my legs are dark. Okay, this is Texas. I can get away with my legs, but like, please don't do this any more than you have to. It's like, I understand that we've been put in this predicament, and I don't like it, and you don't like it. But
All right, we need a cliffhanger.
what's a cliffhanger?
We need a cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Oh,
from a
you
cliff.
know, so
Sylvester Stallone.
I've been wanting to bring this up on the podcast for a long time because I've been listening to this new podcast, and the funny thing about it is that it's brand new. It's brand new to the people who are making it, but they know that this is going to be one of those podcasts that gets like picked up and has advertisers or whatever. And so during the first couple of episodes, they would have these big long pauses in the middle of the podcast in order to later put advertisers in.
That's hilarious.
So what you're saying is we need to take a big 5-minute pause now. So we get
but the funny thing is they would say, so we're going to pause for just a second to have a word from our sponsor. And it would pause for just a second because they know that later they can put the audio in and make it as long as they need to. So they would just say, so we're just going to take a minute to have a word from our sponsor. Okay, now we're back.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you haven't heard this yet because I haven't finished with it. And I don't even remember what I did, but I put in commercials on Robert's episode.
Did you really?
Yeah. Okay, I'm
Sexy.
determined to finish it next week.
Can we do like a pod drop? Like drop some pods that we listen to or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah.
Or like
My
some
new
music
Can I
or
tell you my new
whatever.
favorite one from Crooked Media is called Edith. And it's all about, it's a comedy scripted podcast,
Oh,
but it's
sweet.
about the wife of Woodrow Wilson. And it's played by Rosamund Pike and Clark Gregg from, Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He plays
Coulson.
Woodrow Wilson. And it's all about, Woodrow Wilson has like a stroke, and she basically ran the country.
Yes, that
for
is a
sick-
true thing.
Yeah.
That is
and
a true
I
thing.
knew that, but they have a scripted podcast version of, and it is hilarious and
That
also
sounds really good.
suspenseful. It's really good. It's every Thursday, and they're only like 30, 40 minutes each. But
Nice,
listen to
nice.
Edith. It's awesome.
Very cool.
That's my new favorite.
Cool. I've been looking for something to listen to. I've been trying to find.
Bless you.
I listen to Twilight Zone radio dramas a lot.
Yeah.
If I am tired of listening to music, but I think probably my favorite podcast, aside from the one that I get all my comic book movie news from, which is I understand is a kind of a niche podcast, but the one that I really dig is called Do Go On, and it's a I don't know, it's kind of like they do kind of like book reports. I mean, they're three they're Australian. Makes sense. But they're comedians, and they do a book report, and so one of the three of them will get a topic to research from the listeners, and they'll go and research it, and they'll come and do the little report, and then the other two will just try to make jokes based off of whatever they're saying, and they've covered some really cool stuff. One of my favorites was they did the history of Vegemite. It was one of their live episodes. That was pretty great. They talked about Marmite for a while because Marmite was pre-Vegemite, and every time they talked about Marmite, all the Australians just booed because England sucks. Anyway,
I think Rodney's podcast should be our cliffhanger.
My podcast. Okay.
all right, do it.
So I do have a favorite podcast, and you can learn about it on the next episode.
I don't know why you're still looking in the camera that's now off.
Because
I'm looking at you.
I it's habit. But you can learn about this on the next episode of Diva Dad. So tune in next time when we have another podcast.
Next bat time, same bat channel.
Exactly. So Aaron, thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
Thanks,
so
us.
much for
Aaron.
having me.
We
Ollie,
will
do you have anything to say?
just get a
No.
headbutt.
Okay.
No purrs.
No purrs.
You know they're Diva Dads.
Yes, I can put that in a post. You don't have to sing it. Oh my gosh. Oh, and now she's getting a phone call, so we have just lost
All right, cool.
Adrienne. She's getting a phone call 11:15. What
Hey,
kind
man,
of
party time.
shadiness is going on here?
Party time.
All right, guys,
thank you.
that's it.
Bye.
We'll see you next time. Bye.